Happy Thursday. It is April 16th. We are almost done with the week. This is your math lesson for today. So today you are going to make sure that you watch the instructional video. It's a continuation of mixed numbers from yesterday. Review the PowerPoint. Watch all the learning video links that are within the PowerPoint. They're also posted here for extra support under links. You're going to follow along to Let's Practice today. Then at the end, you're going to log into I Know It, and that will be your activity of today. When you're done with the I Know It, you'll log into iExcel, you'll work on getting pinpointed, and then work on your reflex for that green light. Okay, so let's get started. So today we're going to learn how to turn improper fractions into mixed numbers. I can create mixed numbers from improper fractions. So really what's happening is that an improper fraction is equivalent to a mixed number. Okay, and here's those three types of fractions again. You have your proper fraction, which is that smaller number above a denominator. Your improper fraction, which is your larger numerator over the denominator. And then you have your mixed number that is a whole number accompanied by a proper fraction. And here's that example of a mixed number again. A mixed number consists of that whole number and that proper fraction. You can go ahead and you can watch that video link on the bottom. It's a 12-minute video. I would really love it if you watched it, and it talks about mixed numbers and improper fractions and how they're equivalent and related to each other. So here we have improper fractions. It says a mixed number can also be represented as an improper fraction. That's where I told you that the two are equal or equivalent. Okay, so it says here I have 2 1/5. Well, 2 1/5 is really the same as saying 11/5. Okay, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces represent one whole. Then you have a second group of 5 pieces that represent a second whole. So that's 1, 2 wholes or 10 pieces. And then you have one extra. An improper fraction is a fraction with a numerator that's greater than or equal to the denominator. Okay? So how do we make an improper fraction turn into a mixed number? We're going to use the words do right daily. So do right daily means the steps are divide, remainder, and denominator. But what exactly does that mean? I don't get it. I see pictures. I see it says 17 divided by 5 equals a 3 with a remainder of 2. But I'm still a little confused. So what does do right daily mean, Mrs. DiMiola? Divide, remainder, denominator. What does that mean? So here are the steps. And I know it looks a little confusing, but it's okay. We've got this. So here's step 1. It says turn the improper fraction into a division problem. So really what it says is 15 as your numerator with that line over a 4 as your denominator. Well, that line is actually a symbol for the word divide. So really what it's saying is 15 divided by 4. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to turn that into a division problem. 15 divided by 4, and then I put it under my little house and I make it into a division problem. I continue to the end to find out what the remainder is. So it ends up being that I have 3 as my whole number because 4 goes into 15 3 times, and then there's 3 left over. So how do I write 3 remainder 3 as a mixed number? Well, I come over here and I make my 3 that's on my roof my whole number. My remainder 3 goes as a part, and it goes over 4, which is my divisor. And that remainder 3 ends up making the fraction 3/4. If you're still a little confused, that's okay. We're going to continue on. All right. So we're going to stop for a second. We're going to click this video link up here, and it's going to explain it to us a little bit more.
The denominator. We're used to seeing this kind of fraction. But check out the improper fraction. It's top heavy. The numerator is greater than the denominator. We have to make sense out of this. 6/4 means 6/4. 4/4 is 1 whole, and we have 2/4 left over. So 6/4 equals 1 2/4. We could do these problems using diagrams like I just showed you, but if we use math, we can work them out much faster. Let's think. 7/2 means 7 halves, and it also means 7 divided by 2. When we're changing an improper fraction to a mixed number, this is the fastest way to work with it. Using division, 7 divided by 2. Well, 3 2s are 6, and there's a remainder of 1. Let's do that again. How many 2s in 7? 3 2s are 6, remainder 1. Put that over the original denominator of 2, and we're done. And proving it using a diagram, 7 halves is 3 wholes and 1 half. Okay, now we've proved the method works, it's time to do some examples. Let's do this one. 8/3. How many 3s in 8? 2 3s are 6, remainder 2. Use the original denominator, we're done. 14 divided by 5. How many 5s in 14? 2 5s are 10, remainder 4. Use the original denominator, we're done. Last one. 18/7. How many 7s in 18? 2 7s are 14, remainder 4. Use the original denominator, we're done. Now you know the trick. You know that improper fractions are no problem. You got this. Now all you need is some practice.
All right, so let's go and try and practice. So I have 7/5. 7 divided by 5. How many times does 5 go into 7? Well, it goes in once. There's 2 left over. So it would be 1 whole and 2/5. 9/4. 9/4 or 9 divided by 4. 4 goes into 9 2 times with 1 left over. So I put that 1 over the original denominator of 4, and I get 2 1/4. How many times does 3 go into 5? For the 5/3. 3 goes into 5 one time with 2 left over. I put my 2 over the original denominator, 3, and I get 1 2/3. 13/7. How many times does 7 go into 13? Well, it goes into 13 one time, and then you have 6 left over, so it would equal 1 6/7. 9/2. How many times does 2 go into 9? 2 goes into 9 4 times because 2 times 4 equals 8. Okay, and then you have 1 left over, so our whole would be 4 with our proper fraction of 1/2. So 4 1/2. 17/9. How many times does 9 go into 17? It goes into 17 one time with 8 left over. So it would be 1 8/9. 7/3. How many times does 3 go into 7? 3 goes into 7 two times with 1 left over. And you get 2 1/3. How many times does 7 go into 17? 7 goes into 17 two times with 3 left over, and you get 2 3/7. How many times does 3 go into 10. 3 goes into 10 three times with 1 left over. 1 goes over that old denominator, and I have 3 and 1/3. So now it's going to be your turn. So you are going to log into I Know It, and you're going to give it a try. Okay, so you can click the link here, follow along, make sure you list it as student, my class code DMiola, your first initial, full last name, and our passwords are student. And that's it for today. You do not have anything to turn in today. Your I Know It activity is the only activity that you need to do, and it will be automatically sent once you complete it. So there is nothing to turn in for your math assignment today. If you have any questions, message me on the Teams board and I will contact you and we can discuss if you have anything that is confusing you. Have a great day, everybody.